Now, I know what you're going to say. I know what you may be thinking. I know what the majority of the Western gaming world will think, because we've seen them completely and totally bomb this game when it released. Some sites even refusing to review the game. The same sites that gave this game pretty reasonable scores when it came out now simply can't review the remastering of the game because there's a female character in the game who doesn't look like a 13-year-old boy. It's a female character in the game who is in high school. She's 18, it's her birthday. She's growing up in this weird, whimsical, crazy world where, the things to worry about are whether or not you're the hot cheerleader, whether or not you're dating the jock, whether or not you're a nerd / something else that you were worried about when you were in high school about to go into college. Those stupid years where you were allowed to be stupid. You can be fun. You can laugh at anything and everything, and nothing was taken seriously. That is the time period that I come from, and this is the type of experience that I didn't even know I wanted to experience because I hadn't played this game when it released. It's on sale for like $3. I picked it up on the Switch too. This is the footage. And this game is just stupid fun. Stupid, ridiculous, irreverent fun. It's like if you took, and this is where you've got to be a bit older, if you took Benny Hill and you combined it with Buffy the Vampire Slayer and that TV show Charmed, that terrible TV show, and I forget who was in it, except for like the 3 hot chicks that were in it, about witches. Just stupid, ridiculous 80s, 90s, high school nonsense in a video game developed by people who know how to make really great hack and slash video games. This is absolutely a blast. A blast to play this game, especially in 2025, where almost everything is offensive to almost everyone. This is like kryptonite to that sentiment, and I am here for it every single day. So Lollipop Chainsaw was Grasshopper Manufacturer's most successful video game to date, having sold over 1 million units by March of 2014, and by June of 2024, it had sold over 1.24 million units. The Repop version, which is this one here, sold over 100,000 copies in 1 week of release, and would go on to sell over 260,000 copies by July 2025, at which point a new game and anime adaptation based on the IP were confirmed. I had no idea that there was a new game or an anime confirmed, but based on the times that we're in, I have a feeling that Juliet here is going to look like Chunk, maybe, from the Goonies in the game, so as to not offend anybody. I just gotta be honest with you, it's just refreshing to go into a video game. And I get it, this isn't a modern one, this is a retro game, this is a classic game. Maybe classic gaming and older games and Nintendo are just where I'm going to find most of my enjoyment. Now, in my sort of later years of being a gamer, I just find this kind of humor and these kind of characters and this kind of ridiculousness refreshing, because we don't get this stuff anymore. In fact, it is so cookie cutter, it is so formulaic, and the idea of a beautiful, aesthetically pleasing to look at female in a video game is somehow this golden unicorn that nobody can seem to find. And when you see it, you better not tell anybody, or else they're going to be extremely angry at you for even noticing that it's there. That's how I feel when it comes to modern gaming, especially Western developed games. So this is a breath of fresh air, and it's a reminder of when things were, dare I say it, normal. Now look, I won't get into the fact that the actual character designs of the characters in this game, including Juliet here with the chainsaw, were done by a female. I'm not going to get into the fact that James Gunn, the guy who wrote the new current Superman, was one of the writers on this game and has said that most of the people that worked on him with Lollipop Chainsaw work with him now. I won't get into any of that to try and legitimize why this game is great and why it was sort of swept aside because of some quote-unquote modern nonsense. I won't get into any of that. I'll simply say that if you are a child of the 80s and the 90s and maybe the early 2000s, if you aren't offended easily, and if you like, the idea of a little bit of hot and sexy in your main protagonist, along with some stupid one-liners, crazy irreverent humor, like I said, if you're a fan of anything in the 80s or the 90s, this is a game that you'll absolutely love. Now, I get this is an old game. Why am I talking about it now? I just felt like it. I never played it. I saw it was on sale. I wanted to check it out, and I was just reminded of how much fun things could be when people aren't so ready to pick everything apart and find fault with it because it doesn't fit in to what they want everyone else to think, feel, and believe. Now look, this isn't a perfect game. There are some issues with the controls. There's some camera issues. Every game back then had those same camera issues when you get caught up with the geometry and stuff like that. And some of the combos are a bit hard to pull off. But other than that stuff, underneath of it, it's a very competent, fun game. For me, the characters and the story and the craziness of it all. And yes, again, the main character is likable. She's fun. It's really fun to play as Juliet. It's fun to play in that Buffy the Vampire Slayer world where, she's beating these vampires by accident almost because of the crazy slapstick ways and situations that she gets put into are fun. So this is like the video game equivalent of comfort food for me. I like going back to this world. I love this character, and I am cautiously excited about maybe a new game in this world with this character. But if not, at least we have this original game to go back to and experience how much fun it was, and it still is. Thanks for watching this video. Think about liking and subscribing, and I will see you in the next one.